Monday, April 11th, the two offerings. The contrast between Cain and Abel, as reflected in their names, did not just concern their personalities. It also was manifested in their respective occupations. While Cain was a tiller of the ground, Genesis 4:2, a profession requiring physical hard labor, Abel was a keeper of sheep, Genesis 4:2, a profession implying sensitivity and compassion. Cain was the producer of the fruit of the ground, Abel the keeper of the sheep. These two occupations not only explain the nature of the two offerings, fruit of the ground from Cain and a sheep from Abel, but they also account for the two different psychological attitudes and mentalities associated with the two offerings. Cain was working to acquire the fruit he would produce, while Abel was careful to keep the sheep he had received. Genesis 4:1-5 says, "And Adam knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. And she again bore his brother Abel. And Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering to the Lord. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect to Abel and to his offering. But to Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell." Also read Hebrews 11:4. Why did God accept Abel's offering and reject Cain's offering? How are we to understand what happened here? Patriarchs and Prophets, page 71 says, "Without the shedding of blood, there could be no remission of sin. And they, Cain and Abel, were to show their faith in the blood of Christ as the promised atonement by offering the firstlings of the flock in sacrifice. Besides this, the first fruits of the earth were to be presented before the Lord as a thank offering. While Abel complied with God's instructions and offered the vegetable offering in addition to the animal burnt offering, Cain neglected to do so. He didn't bring an animal to be sacrificed, but only an offering of the fruit of the ground. It was an act of open disobedience in contrast to the attitude of his brother. Often this story has been viewed as a classic case of salvation by faith, Abel and his blood offering, in contrast to an attempt to earn salvation by works, Cain and his fruit of the ground. Although these offerings must have had spiritual significance, they did not have any magic value in themselves. They were always merely symbols, images, pointing to the God who provided the sinner not only sustenance, but also redemption. Read Micah 6:7 and Isaiah 1:11. How can we take the principle applied in these texts and apply it to our lives and worship? From the book The Story of Redemption, pages 52 and 53, it says, "Cain brought his offering unto the Lord with murmuring and infidelity in his heart in regard to the promised sacrifice. He was unwilling to strictly follow the plan of obedience and procure a lamb and offer it with the fruit of the ground. He merely took of the ground and disregarded the requirement of God. God had made known to Adam that without shedding of blood there could be no remission of sin. Cain was not particular to bring even the best of the fruits. Abel advised his brother not to come before the Lord without the blood of sacrifice. Cain, being the eldest, would not listen to his brother. He despised his counsel, and with doubt and murmuring in regard to the necessity of the ceremonial offering, he presented his offering, but God did not accept it. Abel brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat, as God had commanded, and in full faith of the Messiah to come, and with humble reverence, he presented the offering. God had respect unto his offering. A light flashes from heaven and consumes the offering of Abel. Cain sees no manifestation that his is accepted. He is angry with the Lord and with his brother.